There's one fish that gets into the head of every Northeast fisherman, Blackfish, aka tautog. With big brawny shoulders and rod-breaking runs, the Blackfish doesn't ask for respect, it demands it. Anglers pursue Blackfish with a near cult-like following, holding the secrets tight to their chests to catch 10, 15, and even 20-pound trophies, the type of fish that can buckle on anglers' knees. I'm headed to New Jersey to find out what blackfishing is all about. Whew, another cold day here in Barnegat Light, New Jersey. Today I'm going to meet up with my old friend Captain Sean Riley, and we're going to join Captain Sam Rescigno on the Mary M3. We're going to try and catch some blackfish. Sean, hey! What's up, buddy?
Good morning.
What's the word, man?
Hog's the word.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Catch some blackfish, man.
Let's do it.
When it started, next time hoboing, got the baby by the side. Hear the blues before the journey, look in your girlfriend eye.
Yo, Sammy.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much.
Oh my gosh, long time no
Yes,
see,
yes,
my man.
sir. Yep.
How you been, bro?
Been good,
Yeah.
real well.
Well,
Yep.
it looks like what we're gonna try and do is do some blackfishing today, right?
Going to
And,
try.
What's the game plan? What do we got going on?
Well, we're anchored up on the wreck.
Okay.
So all we got to do is now wait for a bite. Guys are baiting up. We just dropping down. So sometimes it takes a while to get the first bite.
Right.
But hopefully we get them going good, you know.
All right, the two types of crabs we're using today are the green crab and the white legger or Jonas crab. Now, many people generally use the green crabs as bait. They're found mainly like inshore and a little bit on the nearshore wrecks, whereas these white leggers are more prolific on the offshore wrecks. People tend to say that these big white leggers will get the biggest of the tog, whereas the greenies will get the, the average size, 3 to 5 8-pounders. But if you want to target a 10-pound plus blackfish, you always want to use these white leggers. I'm going to try and jig a few of these tog up here. Got a 1.5 ounce jig, tip with a green crab. Let it sink to the bottom, let it settle. See if those togs start snapping. About time. No, that was a greenie, but yeah, boy. That's the greatest thing. Nah, I think he's a little guy, but look at that rod tip coming. Look how they fight. They dog like a grouper or a little snapper. Oh. He whacked it a few times, finally got him. Got him bite. Little dude, little chocolate chip. And when they're small like this, we call them chocolate chips just because of their color patterns. You can see how beautiful they are. I believe they're in the wrasse family, so they got that kind of profile, but you can see that he gnawed right on that little green crab, little size 3/0 hook, got him in the mouth there. He's not a keeper, but he's really beautiful. I'm gonna send him right back. Get the pliers out.
Look at that mouth.
Oh yeah, you can see the little teeth. Those things are completely adept at picking off the crabs and crustaceans on the wreck. He's gonna go get bigger.
So you got to check your bait a lot because they're fast, but usually we try to go through one of the legs or in between the legs and then back out through the body to try to keep it on the hook, and change your bait often because they have a tendency just to eat the good stuff out of the crab and leave the shell. See that?
No, this is a gratuitous rod. I might need that, who knows?
Hey Nick, is Sean the Bugsy or the Unbugsy? The Unbugsy.
I'd rather be the unbugsy. It's not that big, but it's, who knows? It's on a jig, so. Rusty tog.
It's
See the rust on the side of it?
Beautiful. Look at that. You see all the wreck rust on him too? That means he's hanging around in that real rusty area.
Sometimes there's rebar in there, sometimes it's a metal wreck.
Oh, I said we'll check them out.
I just had a good bite. And I think he might have got my crab. Let's see if I get one more bite. It's still a bait, I'll get another bite right now. A new crab on there. So they'll eat all the good part of the crab out and just leave the legs and the shell.
So Shawnee, you're getting hits over there. I'm 5 feet away, not getting hits here. What's the deal with that?
I think I have a piece of structure right here that the tog are hanging out in. They have a tendency to hide in the structure. So if you're just a little bit away from the structure, they might not feel safe to come out and take another bait. Different tides will move around, but most of the time they try to stay tight in their structure until they see something they want to eat. Very little guy. I think I got someone else's line. What is it? Oh, that's talk about a chocolate chip. Oh, he's a cutie.
Nick and Sean got the Blackfish bite started. Now Captain Sam looks to make a move to find larger specimens for the frying pan. This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by @Nick Honashevsky on Instagram, Grundens, Savage Gear, Bubba Blade, Shimano, and Grumpy's Tackle. This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by @Nick Honashevsky on Instagram, Grundens, Savage Gear, Bubba Blade, Shimano, and Grumpy's Tackle.
Making a move or what?
We're just re-anchoring. The wind switched a little bit in a few degrees,
Uh-huh.
so we kind of fell off the edge of the wreck.
So, Samuel, we met, God, about 20 years ago now. 18, 20 years ago, I think, something like that.
Had to have been that long
That was
ago,
old
yeah.
Mary M.
The old wooden boat, yeah. Been a while.
You've been blackfishing a long time, huh?
Yeah, it's probably 1991's when I started in business.
Right.
That's probably 30 years ago, and before that I was working with deck on boats, so
Right.
for a long time.
Toggins in your blood, huh?
Yeah, 1985 is when I started professionally, fresh out of high school.
Wow. What is it about blackfishing? You know, because you run a lot of charters for Blackfish. Tell me about some of the passion of the people, or why you go targeting blackfish.
I think that for the most part, the people like to fish for them because there's a knack to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are better than others. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like
explain
there's a little competition between the fellas on deck.
Yeah.
It's good competition, good friendly competition. There's a lot of, a lot of camaraderie. It's a whole different clique. You got fluke fishermen, you got tuna fishermen, then you got black fishermen.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like
a
there's
different, they're
I
a
call
different
it a
breed.
cult, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
you can put it that way. Yeah.
because black fishermen are like, it's like a dedication. It's like, they really get in your head.
He's got the bottom, I think, maybe a bagall.
Oh, if he's got one, I gotta go fishing.
Yeah, let's go see what's biting, huh?
Poking at it, feeling like tapping the crab a little bit, but not like. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Get
that's
out
a better
of
fish.
Get out of
It's a little heavier.
Yeah. Finally. Whew. Yeah. I might be able to swing him. He's fighting a little better though. All right. Get the net in there. I thought he was going to keep, but maybe not. You can see the male there. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful white chin there. Little white chinner.
And they get these spots.
Yeah, it's such an awesome looking fish, Look at those teeth. Those things are designed to crush crabs and all sorts of crustaceans, pick them off the wreck. That's why they call him Old Donkey Tooth there. Look at that thing.
Hey, that's another name.
I don't think this dude's gonna make it, but he was. Now, see, it's got to be 15, but he's gonna go back in. But how about him? Nice little guy.
Getting a little bit bigger though.
Send him right back down.
You got a male, that's good.
He'll go when he wants to go.
That's very good. But give it a little time. It looks like we may have to re-anchor. I'm not sure. See what happens.
He's trying to pull me into his house there. Get me snagged. I'm not gonna let him though. I got a fish. I like it. These light spinning rods like this is so nice. Wow. That looks like a little grouper. That one's right.
He fell.
Looks like we got a real pro here. He's got another keeper.
Slide off.
Sitting on that one for a bit. This one might have a little more weight. Could be a little boxer here. I could probably swing him. We'll see. Maybe get the net just in case. Oh, I hooked him all weird. That's why. That's why he fought so good. You hook him a little weird. Oh boy.
He was thinking about biting.
He was, but have to send him back down. Beautiful little dink, right? Little milk dud here, Sammy.
There we go.
Little milk dud.
Any more keepers?
Not that we saw.
No. All right. Still get a few bites though.
Scratching.
All right. We got to stick with it. You know, you can see the pretty big swell we got here left over. So I imagine the bottom's pretty churned up.
He just dug right in right away. I swung and I don't think he's still on anymore.
I don't know. Yo, you wanted to...
Yeah,
I see that.
He's still pulling.
Out! He's out! He's out!
He's left. He's spinning. He's spinning? Yeah, he's a little rat. Little toy tom. He got big shoulders.
Jeez.
The way he hit it, he had big shoulders at first.
Right?
Little rat. And he's... No, he ain't that much of a rat.
Oh,
Hey, Sam, get that for me, Sam.
Am
I think he'll make that. He'll make it. He got a headache, I know that.
Cookie Bear, how do you
He's
feel
got
if
a
they
goddamn
make it?
headache.
My fingers fit in her eye socket.
All right, there you go.
That's how you tell
Where's
the
he going?
keeper.
Yep.
Starting to get crappier by the second out here. Now it's raining cats and dogs, blowing about 15, 20 knots. I don't know. We'll see if the tog turn on or if it just stays a little bit slow. Got to do what you got to do when you're out blackfishing. Wow. Finally waiting out in this rain.
I find the ones like
Finally got a hit on the jig. And maybe a small one, but bent rod though, you know?
It's barely there.
You ready to...
Oh, there it is.
Smallest fish
Oh,
on
look at that. It's a togging training.
the planet. That's not even big enough for the aquarium, you know? Such a pretty little guy though.
Whoops. Oh, man.
Sammy just blew the 3 horns. That means it's time to go in. Good timing too, man. We're getting soaked. All it takes is one fish to make a meal, and we got our one blackfish keeper today. She's gonna eat well.
Yeah, Nick, don't be a stranger.
Yeah,
You
never,
know,
never.
stay in touch. For
I
sure.
will. Now we got to cook this up.
There you go.
Let's do it. Dude, Great fishing with you again as usual. Getting it done. Now I got to take this fillet. I know the right chef to get it cooked up
All right,
with.
that
So
sounds
Finding keeper-sized blackfish proved to be a little bit tough today for the crew, but with a few fillets in the cooler, Nick now prepares to find out just how good blackfish can taste. This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by @Nick Honashevsky on Instagram, Grundens, Savage Gear, Bubba Blade, Shimano, and Grumpy's Tackle.
now that I got my fresh fish fillets, I'm going to meet up with my good friend and celebrity chef, James Avery, at his test kitchen here, and I'll see what kind of magic he can make with these fillets. Hey, there he is. What's up, brother? Let's go, man. I got some fish to cook here, man. Come on.
This is kind of my hideaway. So I have the restaurant in Asbury Park, and it's hard for me to get my thoughts together there because there's a million things happening at once. So if I come here, I can read my cookbooks, I can just kind of blast tunes, drink a beer, and just get in my mindset, And yeah, I just kind of it's like my little workshop, It's cool.
I got the fish fillet. I got a blackfish here, aka tautog. Dude, Maestro, it's all you. What are we doing?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, I love blackfish. It's one of my favorite fish, second to skate. And it's a really special fish. It's really hard to get commercially. So owning a restaurant, I can't just get that from my purveyors because it's such a hard fish, as you would know, to actually go out and get. It's super firm and super dense, and they're a really powerful fish. So like I said, this is a pretty big piece. It's probably somewhere around 10, 12 ounces. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half for all sakes and purposes.
Yep.
Give it a little trim. So, dude, this is amazing fish.
Right, look at that. Beautiful.
Dude, look at that. It's almost like halibut.
Yeah, nice thick fillet, too.
And halibut's very expensive. So the first thing I'm going to do to get it going is just give it a little season. I got my pan getting hot. So I like to cook fish when it's at room temperature. Just, because it sears better, it cooks more evenly. Got my pan getting hot over here. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a couple glugs of oil. It's an induction burner, but at home you'd be doing this on open fire probably, So the first thing is just kind of get it in. You know your pan's the right type of heat. So really, all I'm doing now is I'm doing a quick little pan roast. While that's going, I'm gonna talk to you about the rest of the dish. These fish, what they eat is a lot of mollusks and bivalves and stuff like that. So I actually had this idea to pair them with that. With clams, they gotta sound like rocks. Rock hard, nothing's open, good to go. Same thing with oysters. I went ahead and pre-shucked them. I kept the liquid in there because that's gonna actually add to the sauce. And then, like I said, this is more of like a chowdery type sauce. So it's cream based, but to that I'm gonna add garlic, fennel, and leek. Classic ingredient combination. So now I'm going to turn my fish over. It's been browning it. You want to get that nice brown color on it. Like I said, it's a durable fish. Don't be scared to get color on it. And then all I'm going to do now is go ahead and add a big old chunk of butter.
That's enough butter, man, to feed
Use really important, use unsalted butter so I can tell the fish is almost done because it's firming up. And what I'll do is I'm going to take the tip of my Bubba blade here and I'm going to slide it right in. When it slides in easily and out, and it doesn't feel like it's puncturing, it's done, okay? So now, I'm just gonna take it out, kind of drain it off, and I'm gonna let it just kind of rest there while I build the rest of the sauce. A few glugs of oil. Now the technique I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna sweat the vegetables, okay, the aromatics, which are the garlic, the leeks, and the fennel. The reason why I'm going to sweat them and not caramelize them is because I'm making this milky, wine, brothy, kind of fennel-infused sauce. I don't want, for the same reason I didn't want black pepper in there, I want it to be kind of cleaner and be softer versus caramelized. So I'm going to go ahead and get my garlic in. I love leeks, man. I love using leeks. They're so good. You'll start to smell it in a minute here, okay? Okay, use some nice chunks of fennel. And again, all I'm looking to do here is kind of get them nice and soft, okay? And you'll know when they're done because they'll be nice and translucent. Hit them with a little bit of salt. And then I use this is Espelette. So Espelette is a chili flake from France. You can use red pepper flake. I like to use Espelette because I'm fancy sometimes. Because I get fancy. I'm just adding my clams now. I want to get them nice and hot. So now that my vegetables are soft, my clams are in there, I'm going to add some white wine. The white wine's going to reduce, and it's going to give the dish some acidity. I'm going to turn the heat up now because I want to get it to a rapid boil and reduce it. A little bit of clam juice too. Just kind of watching it, and when it gets not syrupy, but when it takes on a thicker consistency and it reduces, it's going to reduce down. The acid cooks off, and I can add my cream, and what's left is just the essence of the wine. But I'm going to add some oysters in there. I just shucked these about an hour ago. So what I'm going to do now is that looks like it's about right. I'm going to throw a lid on it, and I'm going to let it just kind of do its thing, and let it and then the sauce is done when the clams are open.
Okay.
All right. So now we can chill out and talk.
This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by @Nick Honashevsky on Instagram, Grundens, Savage Gear, Bubba Blade, Shimano, and Grumpy's Tackle.
All right, man, so here's the deal. I'm about to take the lid off this thing. The clams are open. They're all open, which is a good sign. You never want to force a clam to open. A clam should just open on its own. And that's really it, dude. So here we go. Just kind of arrange my clams in this bowl. I have my oysters and all that. All right, so the stew portion of the dish has been plated, you know, and like I said, you could have had this off to the side and just take it out of the oven. It's super simple, right on top. Okay, and then I'm gonna be extra fancy. The garnish. So all this really is here is some fennel that I kept the top. You can eat these, they're almost like an herb. It's kind of like dill, but it's got more of a licorice anise flavor to it. The last thing I like to do with all fish is have yourself like a really good high quality olive oil. Right. Fish doesn't have a lot of fat unless it's like salmon or something like that. So a leaner fish, I just like to kind of just drizzle a little bit of like droplets of oil. It makes it glisten. It just makes it pretty. Like I have these right next to at the kitchen pass. When everything that comes up, I always hit it with a little bit of olive oil. And that's it, man. Black tog in a stew of what it eats.
All right, brother. How do we do this? We just like dive in or what?
Just get after it, man. There's no pretty way to do it. Take a fork, have a bite of the fish, dip it in the sauce. Right. Sometimes when I'm at home, what I'll do is I'll serve it up with some crusty bread.
Clam in there too, bro.
There you go. On point.
Oh my God, dude. This is what we do. Catch some fish, bring it to Chef James Avery, and we got ourselves a masterpiece.
You catch them, I'll cook them.
Thanks again, brother. I appreciate it.
There's an old saying about blackfishing. If you think you're pretty good at it, you're not. You're just getting started. Blackfish are a constantly changing enigma to figure out, as feeding habits and patterns can change on a whim. They're a ghost in the wreck, stealing baits, breaking rigs, and making hardened anglers look foolish with a missed swing of the rod. Many anglers flirt with the blackfish, but those lured in by the challenge, the fight, and the fun, all eventually join the cult.